We have Joe Pyfer versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. This is going to be, it could be a quick one because these guys throw some heavy heat. Joe Pyfer, body bags, nickname 11-2, 4-1 his last five. Is 27 years old, 6'2", 75-inch reach. He's going up against Abdul Razak Alhassan, nicknamed Judo Thunder. 12-5 in his last, in 12-5 record. He is 2-3 in his last five, coming off that pretty good win against Claudio Ribeiro, I believe. 38 years old, so he is the older fighter here. Has an 11 year age gap against Joe Pyfer. 5'10", also the shorter fighter, and he's 73 inches, so slightly shorter fighter in terms of the length too. Odds, just to let you guys know, I mean, these odds kind of ballooned up, opened up. Joe Pyfer opened up at minus 350, went all the way down to like a minus 500 something, minus 575 at the peak. And then now he's been bet back to a minus 450. So people are shoving in on the Joe Pyfer train. Um, when I broke down these two fighters, specifically Joe Pyfer, I mean, he has hands of stone, good pressure, good composure too, for being a guy who really relies on that power. I think that he has good patience and really waits for those opportunistic kind of, haymakers and hooks, punches. Um, he does go for the kill when he smells blood, as you guys saw with his GM3 fight, right? It took a little while for him to kind of get settled, but once he saw that GM3 had nothing for him on the stand up, he just went in and like just body bagged this dude. Like it looked like a really physical like kind of mismatch there. He also has an underrated ground grappling game that I don't think we've seen too much yet. So he might be kind of implementing that in this fight if needed, but I think that he's gonna try to go for the knockout like he's been doing for the last few fights. Um, I think he's also the UFC's new golden boy. I mean, they want to promote this guy. He has a pretty good story with Dana, how Dana White like gave him some housing or something for a few months. So I mean, there's a good storyline for him. I can't imagine this is a top moment yet. I mean, I don't think they're gonna sell the top on a guy like Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I mean, that'll be pretty messed. That'll be pretty messed up if Abdul comes in here and just KOs this guy, and that's the end of Joe Pyfer. But yeah, I just don't see that happening. Um, I think that there is going to be a little danger here. I mean, this is not GM3, right? Abdul Razak Al Hassan is powerful striker. I mean, this guy's a headhunter. He does have a judo background. Like if you look at his social medias, I mean, his nickname's like Judo Thunder, right? There's some of his like nicknames are always about judo, but he's fallen in love with that power. I mean, I don't think he does too much judo anymore. Maybe because he's 38, doesn't really want to grapple anymore, but I think he's going to be live for a knockout because of that power. I mean, if it comes down to it, and let's say that you have Joe Pyfer in your parlays, because I'm sure that a lot of people are probably going to have Joe Pyfer in their parlays based on how the odds have moved. Might be good to sprinkle a little hedge on Al Hassan KO, like round one or something, round two, just kind of keep it safe because this guy can bang. I mean, he has some solid power. He's just to let you guys know too, he stopped the Claudio Ribeiro hype train, right? Like Claudio Ribeiro was coming in as a hype prospect, and Al Hassan kind of just took him out. But I think Joe's on another level though. I think he's safe to potentially parlay here. Yeah, I think Joe's gonna be a parlay piece. I just don't see any way, and especially since it comes down to like the second last fight on the card, you can definitely just do the hedge, like I mentioned for KO for Abdul Razak. So pick is going to be Joe Pyfer. Good parlay piece. Alex, what were your thoughts here on this fight?
Yeah, I really actually like that little hedge play that you mentioned. Because Abdul is a headhunter. So it could be smart to if you have Joe Pyfer in your parlays to hedge him with the KO for Abdul. But in terms of the breakdown, I feel like Joe Pyfer, he hits like a truck. Not the most volume, but when he lands, he'll land heavy. Um, Also, that age gap, is there. 27 years old fighting a 38-year-old. What I thought was interesting was when he KO'd Gerald. Um, he had that KO, he had that win, but then I'm looking at his Tapology, and he also has a grappling win against Gerald as well, who's a known grappler. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I think this guy's got skills like everywhere. So I like Joe here to win, and I'm gonna have him in my parlays.
Sir, full send on Joe. Kevin, what were your thoughts on this fight between Joe Pyfer and Abdul Razak?
Yeah, I think it's obviously not a guaranteed win because this guy, Judo Thunder, has 12. Basically, all his wins are knockouts. But I think Joe has good enough movement to defuse that. And yeah, I think he's a smart enough fighter to kind of see where the dangers are with this guy and create a strategy that'll allow him to keep it up. So I think he's just all around better fighter. Um, yeah, I don't think the UFC would set him with that hard of a fight, to be honest. Given that he's the co-main, and then this is his second UFC fight, or third UFC fight. I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna be pumping the
Yep.
train for a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm going with. Well, I'm adding him to the parlays too. I've actually got a max bet parlay on him. I'm trying to. We're trying to eat. I'm trying to see the red beard in action. You know those dudes with red beards, man, they don't fuck around, dude. You know what I'm saying? Those Justin KGs and shit.
Nickel kind of those kind of dudes.
Yeah, exactly. When you got the red beard, you basically got the power and IQ.
These guys are fucking strong.
You know what I'm saying?
Guys who look like that. Joe Pyfer, if you look at his body, bro, like fucking like his chest, like fucking has abs, like I don't know, man. It's a physical specimen for sure, for sure.